the
Ghost
stats.
and
Exactly.
really bad for Cody Sun. There you go.
Perfect.
Easy as that.
Why do we need graphics?
Done and dusted.
Mazel, you can just talk us through it.
But we do have conviction on the blue side, so they're going to be sticking with the side. They are going to continue to ban the same 3 that we've seen from the previous 2 games as well. The other side will still change up just a bit. The Rumble's going to stay there from the game number 2 ban. The Riven's going to stay there as well from the previous 2 games, but the Sejuani ban comes through, and the first pick of the Orianna this time from Conviction.
All right, well, that's the mage play that we wanted to see going forward in this series, but I mean, with what Viper showed us on the Rise, it left a little bit to be desired, but if he's had more practice on this one, could get a lot of value. The champ is still really strong at the moment here, and the knock.
Steal it away, man.
That would have been
yes, I love that.
Ooh.
They're throwing down the
good.
cards. They said, we know what you wanted. You're not going to get it.
Yeah, and if they just pick Nico here, like, is it not just GG? Like, go to game 4. So there's a chance for them to do so. Point is, yeah, you deny a really powerful combo there. Conviction hopefully expected this at least in part and have some kind of backup plan.
Yeah, indeed. I do wonder what the combo is going to be here, as
Nico
next,
is
the locked in.
Let's go to game 4.
You already called
wrap
it.
it up, wrap it up.
You just want me to solo cast the next game?
Yeah, maybe. Like,
okay.
I don't know if I'll have much to talk about. Oh, that's
it is going to be a deadly combo, though, locked in for Estral, seemingly taking away the tools that Conviction were wanting. See what they end up going with here, see if they can find themselves a little bit of safety. Definitely still wanting multiple carry positions, though, for them. A team that has expressed themselves through their hands differentials, through a lot of their split itself, and a lot of that run to the finals there, as the Karma is going to be locked in for a potential poke-heavy bot lane from Conviction.
Makes sense. You do need some sustain. You're going to get dove no matter what. Basically impossible to stop. We've seen Stunt play a lot of the Karma as well, so it makes sense. If the Orianna wasn't already picked, I would be like, Viper, play Seraphine. It would be delicious. Maybe they want to do Seraphine Karma bot. That actually doesn't sound terrible, but I feel like you'd be lacking on a lot of damage. So, not too many options here.
We're going to get the Zinzao for Perryy, so still going to go with the skirmish heavy, kind of lead from the front jungler, which I do really like. I think side lane's going to be super important to keep an eye on, though, on how they deal with that, because the side lane pressure can definitely be there for Estral already. The Sivir is going to be locked in for that bot lane wave clear.
And you have already the kind of double range because it's probably Nico support, and just the fact that you, again, have more scaling there for Ghost, this time on the Sivir. Going to be a real big problem. Conviction's comp, because of how they want to rely on this Karma, they want to group up, does mean that Ghost is going to get so much value off the Ricochet as well.
And I think that value, very understated in how quickly you can get the waves pushing the prio, especially if Dragon starts becoming more of that focus. But in the second phase of bans, we do see that bot lane focus already from Estral. They do ban away that Ezreal. We'll see what Conviction want to ban here.
Yeah, makes sense. I think they just want to ban the, mobile 80 carries. Xayah has already been picked. You remove the Caitlyn so you don't get a lane dominant pick. So unless Cody Sun is going to play something like Draven, I'm not really sure what he could be looking for. This is going to be tough.
It is indeed. I do like the Caitlyn ban, because they're definitely trying to whittle away at like the double poke, the double strong 2v2s, because Sivir not necessarily the strongest 2v2er, can be obviously, but really just trying to get to that wave clear potential and get out of lane itself, which honestly is right to Estral's game plan so far. They've always just yeeted Ghost to the top lane for the early farm anyways.
Yeah.
But we'll see what they say counter pick for. I do wonder if it's going to be for Summit this time around. Try to give him some pressure into that side laning potential of TFBlade, as the Annie's going to come through. The point blank CC chain that can come through for this Nocturne Annie combo.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It just gives you even more potential setup and follow-up to that Nocturne ultimate, to that Nico ultimate. So just really big wombo combos here for Estral. And Conviction now really trying to see how they're going to be able to round out this composition. They're going to need, I think, some more front line. Oh, so if
there it is.
All right.
Rex was talking about this,
they
by
could
the
do
way, one
something
of the other casters.
crazy. Seraphine and just do Vayne top. It's crazy.
Okay.
Vayne top and just do Seraphine, Karma, but I don't know, man. Like, they just
They
need
have
to
been willing to physically body swap
yes,
as well into other
exactly.
lanes.
Exactly. Because they just need to be able to, I don't know, survive these team fights. Okay, I like the Gragas because you're going to be able to try to break things up a little bit. Actually, it would be a good way if you're really on the ball watching Nico to keep her away with that exploding cast to kind of limit the impact of that pop blossom.
You wonder what this counter pick's going to be. It's got to be a big one. It's got to be something that can get the side lane picks going, especially for SolidSnake, who will be looking for them once he hits that level 6. Maybe something with a little bit of pressure in that side lane so they can lock down or at least have CC chaining going for it. It's not going to be any of that. It's going to be the Jace for some extra damage from Summit.
Yeah, I mean, I like the angle there for him. Just a lane that SolidSnake can play to, especially the side lane with the ultimate. That's the big thing there, because picking side lane strong champions as Conviction, not really ideal this game because you can't get too aggressive with the looming threat of that paranoia. But Estral can. So I think the Jace makes a lot of sense. Expect SolidSnake to be leaning to him a lot post level 6 and causing a lot of headaches for Conviction.
My only worry for Estral right now, though, is there is no frontliner to be seen. When they go in, they have to be all on the same page. And luckily, that's what we saw in game number 2 itself. But there is literally no frontline.
There really isn't. So that is something to be something Conviction can look to take advantage of. It's really important, Lennon, for them to be able to survive that initial engage. Paranoia, Tibbers, and Pop Blossom. You survive those 3 things, then they'll win the fight. But that's easier said than done.
It's a checklist. That can be end of things. We'll see if we get a little bit closer knit game going into game number 3. We have very, very hot and spicy comps. A lot of action expected in game 3 between Conviction and Estral, kicking off now.
That's right. And I think you already hinted at it, Lennon. It is going to be a bit of an IRL swap. Cody Sun will be moving towards that mid lane. He'll be piloting the Orianna. Viper, I kind of like this setup. Having him in the top lane to 1v1 against that Jace. Like, this is something Viper has played so much of, especially being a former top laner. Actually should be a pretty good matchup there into the Jace. It is ranged, so he should be able to find some advantages there, especially running the Ghost.
Taking advantage of the lane swap, but sending their mid laner up towards top. And this is something that has been a saving grace in a lot of ways for Conviction, something they've utilized a lot throughout their split, but especially in the playoffs there. Moving Viper around. And now with Evolve being out and Cody Sun coming in, it's the perfect time to do so. And we'll see how that all works out. Love to see Cody Sun going with the mage play here, because that was a big thing for me. Is like, you have to be able to play mages. And they are found a way, at least.
Yeah, if not, you're just super kneecapped in draft. So I like the adaptation here Conviction are doing with some of the sub situations they're dealing with. And yeah, you can see Viper, again, in a matchup he's very familiar with, comfortable with. It could give him some potential advantages to ruin the side lane potential Summit's trying to build towards.
See the similar pathing from both junglers again in yet another game, heading down towards this bot side. Bot side that's going to be looking a little bit different now that TFBlade is down here on the Gragas. This is yet another pick that's been a big central point for TFBlade as well. He's been willing to go towards. So a couple of big comfort games from TFBlade. It's going to be super important to keep an eye on. But if we're looking at something to keep an eye on, man, it's the fact that Winsome and Ghost had a hell of a game number 2. And so far, they've got the priority they need, the bot side.
Yeah, I think delaying the back for Stunt is huge too. That's going to take him longer to join up on the top side with Viper. But also, just I understand why they're going for the setup, and I agree with it. But it does mean TFBlade is going to suffer a good bit. Even in the 2v2, it's a little hard for him to farm and Sivir Nico by himself. Not really the best at farming 1v2, so he is going to fall behind a little bit early. He is playing this for more of the utility, I would imagine, so it's not as bad, but still doesn't feel good.
And now we see a fluctuation around this Scuttle Crab. SolidSnake wants to fully fight for this one. It looks like they do. Both top lane's going to go down, but it's an unmanned fight for Estral, going for the full-on 3v3 now. Cody Sun's going to be behind.
Oh.
SolidSnake goes for first blood, gets the kill, takes down Perryy in the end. Now they're going to follow through. This combination from Estral, it came out of nowhere, but just like a winter storm, it absolutely pummels Conviction. Viper is going to be under turret now. No way they turn this into a 3K at the start of the game.
Wow.
They do. It's going to be summoned
Executed.
in the end, going down to the execution. Estral can do no wrong. 2,000 gold up 4 minutes in.
And it literally a 3-4-0. Conviction are collapsing. Where were the comms that Cody was moving first and could turn around that 1v1? This is just a catastrophe here in these early minutes. Like, chasing this, knowing that Cody Sun is this far behind, is really crazy to me, and not something I expect to see from a player like Perryy.
You do see them just caught out. I mean, thinking they could win that big fight because they had 2 bodies in top lane, but they were a little bit late to the play. The first move came out of mid from Cody, and that is just all she wrote for the early game. SolidSnake now 3-0 on the Nocturne.
Yeah.
Stolen away from this Conviction comp with their first pick.
Yeah, that's right. It's just only going to be harder from here on out, Mazel. The fact that this comp was relying on Conviction to survive. What was our checklist? The Paranoia, the Tibbers, and the Pop Blossom. Well, a 3-0 Nocturne means you're probably going to fail that first box on the checklist.
It's going to be hard to write that one in, that's for sure.
Yeah.
As we'll see how early he hits that first item. That's definitely something to watch out for. A guy who just came off of coaching Isurus, right?
Yeah,
And that's so crazy to me that he's finding himself in a position where he is the leading man now in this game number 3 to really shift that momentum fully in Estral's favor in this series.
That's right. And wow, is he making it look easy, especially in these last 2 games. Now 3-0 on the Nocturne. Going to be able to have a massive impact there. So that means that Conviction in a position again where whatever play Estral wants to do, you just got to let it happen and hope you can trade elsewhere. Something we give them a lot of credit for previously. Something they're going to have to make good on again. Oh, Winsome. Oh, we're not counting.
He got caught counting, and unfortunately, the math ain't doing so hot. Winsome gets his kill.
And the sad thing is, I think Viper realized, because he tried to tumble
did,
away.
absolutely.
Yeah, and he's like, oh, wait a minute, but it's too late.
It is too late now. We see that Avalanche still looking to fall on this top side. Stunt gets chunked there as well. Meanwhile, Ghost getting caught by TFBlade. No way he dies here. Gets slammed by the cask, and TFBlade with the solo bolo on the Ghost.
That is a much-needed win there for Conviction because,
oh my god, that combo from Summit was disgusting, but he will still falter and fall. Viper gets the kill on the overextended top laner of Estral.
Yeah, wow, that was nice. I mean, Estral fight off more than they can chew, so they're giving up a little bit of the lead they earned in those early minutes. 2 kills unanswered by Conviction Esports. So at least some signs of life here in what was a very concerning start.
It was indeed. Still a pretty hefty lead for Estral, but the Dragon is up now because of all the fighting. We've really seen a lack of priority on that one, even though that has been a high prio in the previous games. I do expect that natural falling back to where both teams don't really care too much about the Dragons and specifically focus on the top side neutral objectives, especially the Grubs. That'll be coming up in about 35 seconds.
Yeah, really big deal there for Estral. And yeah, there's that moment. Viper, he counted, but he counted too late. It did end up causing him to fall, and we'll see it was a push play from TFBlade to get that kill onto Sivir. It got a splash, too, in the process. So it does mean if Perryy was finding an opportunity, he can look on to Ghost.
It's the classic ADC versus top laner. But I guess Ghost kind of upset that tradition earlier in game number 2. Maybe we're not keeping tabs on that one too much. But Conviction are just going to start up the Grubs. There is a full attack setup coming through from Estral. They look to catch out TFBlade. He's going to get chunked there. Winsome coming over, but doesn't have much health. Here's the Paranoia coming through. They don't really have a follow-through with it. Beyond the Hunt had already been popped. Ghost gets completely caught. He's getting taken down now as well. now. There's Tibbers going to be used by Cody. SolidSnake is fighting his way on the other side. Summit lands a big hammer slammer, and Perryy goes down to Winsome. Now they find the back end of the fight. Conviction are forced away even after they get the pick. SolidSnake is still up, so they go straight to the objective.
Right, no smite means no fight. Conviction have to let this one go, and it is a 2-for-1 in favor of Estral too, so they come out in terms of gold. Because Perryy went down, there is no trade for the Dragon available, and he has camp spawning on that top side of the map. So signs of life from Conviction, but not quite enough for them to really stay there. Coming back into this one. Again, 9 minutes in, being down to 2,500 gold. It is crazy. It's not happening often.
Honestly, I'm trying to figure out how we can make a spin-off game for SolidSnake here with the Paranoias. Honestly, we need to figure out the marketing for that one, because this guy is he's dictating the pace. And I know when we came into the game itself, we talked so much about how the jungle matchup is where I feel like Conviction was a little bit more favored towards SolidSnake versus Perryy. And now we've seen SolidSnake have two very solid games himself, but on this Nocturne kind of changing up that facilitation, that utility style that he was bringing earlier in the series, and now he's already got his first item completed.
I was going to say, here's the experimental Hex Plate. That ult cooldown after the next one is going to go down quite a bit, and something that he is happy to be taking advantage of. So he's the carry now, Mazel, and he has a lot of tools to make sure he can make that one happen.
And the fact that both the mid-jungle duo have their first items now can be a big pressure point for Estral to build off of here. The Dragon still hasn't been touched. There's a little bit of movement down there for Estral, as Winsome will come up here to support Summit. It does look like Estral are going to start that one up. No response from Conviction. So let's talk a little bit about Conviction's response that they have left in this game, as they're going to get a kite out on the top side. Nice shock blast with the acceleration. Almost claims Viper's life. He's going to go down with the fight, though. As they go into Perryy now, they immediately turn back around. And Conviction have turned, and Viper baited Summit again. And Winsome in some trouble now. Perry's going to try to run him down. Meanwhile, the Dragon had been taken by Estral, and Perryy will force his way into this top side, try to get as much plates for TFBlade as they can.
They do have 2 grubs, so they should be able to do some decent damage here. It's just about Winsome now. Oh, and yeah, okay, fine. I will say, there's a nice play coming through here. I like the aggression from Viper. Very low health. He runs back in anyway because he smells the kill, and that's something we saw a lot of in NACL. First split playing AD carry, but he is not afraid of anything. It shows in how he plays every single game.
Exactly that. And if there's a time to do that, it is right now, right here in this series. The winner of this series goes on to face ESG in the first double elimination round of the tournament. Viper's running down Cody Sun, trying to run away from Tibbers. Stunt is doing his best to be a bear repellent. That is just going to be a lot of pressure on the spot side turret. I think Winsome's going to be here to respond in time. Viper's going to back away.
They're going to let it go. They don't know where everybody quite is yet, and he's got some gold to spend. So we're just going to go back to things slowing down a little bit. We have Dragon coming up in a couple minutes. Herald shortly after. So it's really just about making use of any angles you can to fight. And SolidSnake, he has his ultimate ready to go. So if anybody walks up, they're cooked.
And this is the bread and butter of Estral. I love that we're even seeing them positioned for it, but as soon as they feel confident, as soon as somebody oversteps in the side lane, that's instant pressure added by SolidSnake being there with the paranoia. And that is what we've seen some of the best teams around the world use. That's why you pick up this Nocturne, to really take advantage of overextended side laners.
Oh!
And, need to see Estral complete that one through, as TFBlade will show up on top side. Will force Summit as the Yumu's is popped by the lethality Jace. And Stunt taking an extra shot, barely survives. Viper gets the kill in the end. I cannot believe that Stunt just survived with that little health.
That was clean as hell. Like, really nicely juggled by Conviction. You're going to get several turret plates off of it as well, and you're keeping the Jace off of the map.
Oh, they're going mid lane. Full hand. The shockwave going to be used to pull him back into the turret. Ghost taking some extra shots there from Cody Sun. Expertly navigated away from the dive of Estral.
Gotta love the ice, too, from Cody Sun, experienced player. And many tiers of League of Legends gameplay. Holds on to the ult, waits for the spell shield. He knows he is perfectly safe as hell. While his teammates collect on the rest of the map.
And that's one of the biggest things. I love that you mentioned it there about Conviction is we label them the streamer team. A ton of them are in the top rankings of solo queue on the NA ladder itself, obviously. But you also have to remember that a lot of these guys are experienced in the competitive aspects across the board, right? It's not even just in tier 2 play, it's in tier 1 as well. And a lot of long-standing members of the scene are going to make this run here for that spot.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, considering the gap in pro play experience for a lot of these players, it really feels like they hadn't missed a beat. Again, I expected them to have some growing pains, especially with our short regular season in the NACL for the 2. But they just hit the ground running.
TFBlade making a play on a Winsome. Gonna pop the Pop Blossom. Make his way out of there. Barely, but that will be more gold going to Estral as they take down this turret. Should be able to get first turret, and that would be the piece of strength for them as they're going to look for more kills. They try to catch Viper out. He's going to get the shielding going. He's looking for the outplay. Viper says, stick to me, you better not miss, son. That's 2 kills. Quick, bop, bop, come out from Conviction. They will end up losing the feats of strength, but what does it matter as they continue to find stake in this game?
Man, Viper has said time and time again, don't let him play Vayne. And he proves it each and every time the reason why. Successful play after successful play, and now they're going to be able to knock down that turret in the mid lane, or rather the bottom lane, excuse me, and they've been chipping away at this gold lead so consistently, Mazel. They were down 2,500k, it's down to almost nothing. This is the ability to come back that we wanted to see.
They're using some gas in the tank here. Some of these pivotal picks that we've seen from them all split long, but it is paying off in spades. As Cody Sun, he doesn't have the damage to take down Winsome. Now he's going to be in some trouble. Ghost steps up, knocks one out of the park, looking for a 2 first. Summit gets the kill. TFBlade comes over, tries to get the follow through, does end up getting one back, but now Ghost was trying to follow him through. Does have the lethal tempo and the on the hunt procced, but that will be Estral fighting back and getting a little bit more of that gold back in their tank.
Yeah. Really nice of Summit to cancel that back and stay long enough to help secure that play. But now he is off the map, and Viper and Perryy, who are pretty strong at the moment, are in the area. So now everyone's looking at the Rift Herald. We're seeing some recalls channeled, so there's a chance for these two to just quickly two-man this objective and take it before there is a fight.
All right, let's see if they can just capture this one down. Paranoia is there. They're going to come around the corner, but it's a little bit too little, too late. Rift Herald will go over. Paranoia has been popped. They're looking for the intro as Winsome coming in. There's a TP from Cody on the back line too. He's about to have the CC locked up. The Timbers comes down. Does get a little bit of damage back. Cody takes down Viper. That's a big damage dealer from Conviction gone as Perryy does slink his way out of there. That still will be the Rift Herald completed and secured by Conviction and Perryy.
Yeah, it's Estral being able to collect some more gold, and they've actually gotten that lead back up to about what it was 9 minutes in the game. Of course, they also have the angle to secure this dragon in the process, so a worthy trade for the Herald that they lost, and now it's really up to Conviction and how they use the Herald to decide how worth it was.
2 items on Vayne. Experimental hexblade there completed for him as well. Expect a lot of turnaround fights. That's something when we do end up seeing Viper's Vayne, it's very kill and death heavy because he is just always willing to take 50-50s, take those trades back and forth. We'll see if that pays off for Conviction here as one of these teams going to step up to match point in our first best of 5 of the promotion tournament. Winsome pushed out by Perryy, going to be locked down now, and Ghost comes over. He's almost on 2 items now too. As Perryy goes right back into the fight, the on the hunt's going to be popped. Ghost getting locked down. That's not going to be enough. The Crescent Guard is going to be actually enough to get him out. They get the kill in the end on Summit too. Now TFBlade comes over and some distractionary gameplay from Perryy.
At the end of the day, they secure the kill and the turret. So we call that worth, Mazel. Nothing's really going to be gotten in exchange. There's just a wave being dropped in the mid lane. Otherwise, Conviction get a nice answer back. And they still have the Herald to work with as well. So an opportunity to drop another turret, probably the one in the mid lane, going into that next round.
Last time, we did see the Rift Herald not used as the timing for the Dragon setup, but we'll see if Conviction, and that was Estral's side, we'll see if Conviction have the better read on that, especially with how strong that mid lane outer turret is still for Estral. That Dragon going to be extremely important in about 3.5 minutes. In between, though, Estral looking for a pick. They have the Paranoia. They get one catch out. That's all they need. They're going to get the Paranoia used. The Flash will be burnt to make the escape by Conviction.
Yeah, nice catch out there. Does mean Cody Sun's going to have to be a little more careful going forward. And because of that Hexblade, SolidSnake will get that ult sooner than you think. We're going to get a replay over this top side. This one was a little messy. Definitely taking more turret shots than we needed to. Props to Perryy for surviving and buying enough time and for his team to get that kill onto Summit and for TFBlade to escort him out.
Dude, the little micro movements, the flash there in the end to get away from that auto attack. Absolutely well timed by Conviction. And it's funny, we're having that back and forth tug of war now for game number 3. We're actually getting a non-one-sided game, at least as of yet, but Estral have had the lead this entire time. See if they can capitalize on that. Cody Sun getting low. The Shockwave is going to end up spell shielded out, but Winsome comes over the top rope and takes down 2 with the Pop Blossom. Now Perry's in some trouble. He's going to use the Rip Tail to get away from this fight, but it's not going to have enough health. He's going to come out, he's going to pop 2, and that's a double kill for Summit from the top plate of Estral. All set up by Winsome, and now they're going straight down mid lane.
Conviction getting too saucy, but Astralis happy to take advantage. They get a massive fight. The gold lane goes even higher, and it's feeling like we're similar to what we saw in game 2, where now it's getting harder and harder to imagine Conviction coming back in this game.
What was 1,000 gold lead here or there, taken, fought, and beaten by Conviction, and a couple times now explodes to 4,000 and a permanent buff going over to Estral. This is the team that everybody had gotten a little bit of their hopes up for going into the playoffs after a dominant regular season, and this is the team that seems to have found their hunger once again.
Well, now, Conviction, they have a chance to turn this into something. You got low mana, low health on some, but Estral able to walk away. Thornbound Otacon slain. Now this gold lead up to 4,000. It is domination here in this mid game from our LRN second seed.
Take a look back at the play that got Viper caught out. It all started with a catch on a Cody Sun, and then the overzealous dash in by Viper.
Yeah, I mean, with that flash from Winsome, I think he dies either way, so looks like it was an attempt at salvage, but either way, Estral had the numbers, they had the setup, therefore they had the win.
Things sitting pretty for them from this red side now. Try to catch out. I mean, you got to expect that anytime there's a catch like this, you're instantly going to get jumped on. That is exactly what Estral wants, and that's exactly what they get every time. Conviction continue to falter in the face of pressure, and Perry's looking for a redemption plan to go, but he will not find it. There's the counterplay from Winsome, and Estral are running away with this game number 3. Conviction, where have they gone?
They've gone to the gray screen Mazel, and we are, okay, these are really long spawn timers. The wave is here, we're TPing. I think the game is over. This is going to be the fastest game if they actually go for the end, but I don't think they will. Okay.
They're feeling a little bit hesitant there, obviously. So Stunt is back up, and they will move over to the Dragon. That will be the sole point for them as well, though. 7,000 gold up, too.
Yeah, I mean, this may not be the end, but the end is coming, Lennon. This is tier 2.
It is
also losing half its health. Soul point is going to be collected there from Estral, and we're at a point where it's really just no answer to have from Conviction. And it feels like they're getting outroamed, they're getting outplayed, they're getting outmatched, and these are the expectations. This is that level of play everyone wanted to see from Estral when this roster came together, beginning of Split 2.
I mean, you can just put the names on a paper and you're like, what the hell? This team? This team is competing for it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you have some of the biggest names we've seen, at least, and you talk about a world champion and Ghost all you want, right? I feel like we can beat that like a dead horse, but it is really about these other names. Winsome, who has found now a home there on Estral with this split, and Summit as well, being 2 of the big backbreakers for them so far. But I got to give huge props to Cody and SolidSnake for this series in particular, the show outs, right? Some of that development talent, that homegrownness coming through for them.
Yeah, and it has been growing very nicely, even with the faltering coming through in the playoffs here for Estral. Still, the potential was always there, and we're really starting to see it come to fruition as they are looking to close the book on Game 3.
You look at these 5 players and you can tell that they want to win. That is the difference here that we are seeing in this version of Estral, and it is triumphantly clear in this game number 3 as they push themselves closer and closer to being in the double elimination stage of the promotion tournament.
Yeah, now TFBlade, Viper, even with the Phantom Dancer, I don't know if he can hold it down.
Oh, Cody goes with the over the top and he's stunned with the timbers. He can put a little bit of whipped cream on top because this is a beautiful Sunday for Estral, and it's not even Sunday just yet. It's going to be a massive outplay from Estral across the entirety of game number 3, and they move on to match point.
And a game so dominant that that's the fastest time we've seen in North America Tier 2. Because the fastest game we had before was 24, I think 30 or 24-25. The 24 flat, Mazel, that has not happened to us this year. And really just shows Estral coming into their own, not only winning as dominantly as they did, but as quickly.
And this is a team that I can get behind. They're bending to their strengths, right? And they've now taken down 2 big comfort style draft setups from Conviction.
Yeah.
What was Conviction's biggest strengths in the playoffs? And the fact that they have kind of stood tall against those efforts and completely destroyed them across 2 games now, this is an Estral that's looking to crash that momentum straight into DSG if they do win this next game.
They're looking like they're well poised to, because game 2 was a bit of a slower one, but game 3, I mean, they won that really fast. So I'm kind of worried. Maybe Conviction's starting to crumble.
We'll see if the roster changes really had that big of an effect for Conviction. We'll see you on the other side of this break to break down that game number 3.